Hello all tarot lovers out there. I have bought a new deck. It is called the Golden Botticelli Tarot. It was created by the talented Atanassov in the style of the Italian Renaissance artist Botticelli. And he has his most famous painting here, and it's the birth of Venus. So all the cards in this deck is kind of taken from the Botticelli arts, and this Alexandro Atanassov, he is named Atanas Alexandro Atanassov, if you can see this down here, and it's a normal size deck. I can show you the rider's white, so you'll see that it's merely the same size. Sorry, it's upside down in images. Here we have death. So you see it's a little bit longer and a little bit, some millimeters more narrow, okay, or less wide maybe. Okay, so I will open this deck and show you all the cards. I am thinking of this as my next deck for my general spread because of the Fool card. I recently did a meditation. I usually do meditation on the cards, and I start with the Fool and end with the World card, and now I was starting with the Fool again. And when I saw the Fool, he was coming. He was still on the mountain, but he was coming with his head looking at the sky and like twisted around his shoulder like on an owl, like really curious, wanted to see everything. So you see it's a normal container for this, and it's no big book attached. It's just this small, normal for Luis Garabao's deck. I don't know who is the, yes, it's the, you can see this here. It has the marking of Luis Garabao. And for you that wonder, also this new tablecloth is from Luis Garabao. That does a lot of stuff for tarot. So, okay. You see this, the back side of the card. It's very artistic. It's very beautiful. It's with the patterns a little bit resembling the flowers of life, and also we have this eternity symbol, even though they are not attached to each other. The two circles, very classic for tarot. And here's the book, and it comes with different languages: English, Italiano, Espanol, Francais, that's English, Italian, Spanish, France, Deutsch, and Portuguese. So no Swedish, of course. We are too small of a country. So it's some sides for each language with all the cards, short interpretations. The English is first. So judgment, for example, analysis, soul searching, awareness, reawakening. Okay. So I will do like a slideshow with the cards, because I have learned when I have looking for new tarot deck really frenetically to be able to show you new oracle decks and new tarot decks. That's like has a certain standard that if you want to look at reviews on YouTube, you really want to see all the cards, because sometimes they just show the nice ones and not the one that's not so nice, and might make you change your mind about buying the cards when you see it on display in a bookstore on the internet, for example. They just have the most beautiful cards. So this is just a commercial. It's the name of the deck and the famous painting Venus there. And here's the Fool, and this is what this was why I fell for this deck. It was because it had the same kind of view that I saw when I was doing my meditation. And you can see that is gold in the in the back side of the card. It's gold double, and the edges are black. That's very good, because if you use your decks frequently, they get smudgy. Now I can't show this with my riders here, because it's rather new deck as well. So the Fool. Here is the Magician. And here we have the High Priestess. The High Priestess is usually my favorite card in the deck, because she oozes a lot of self-respect, and she's a little bit dark, but anyway, like in full control over her the universe and her connection with it. But here it looks more timid, like it's more like a saint or something, but okay, it's a scholar, feminine scholar, you can say. And here you have the Empress, and all those pictures are taken from the Botticelli paintings. Here you have the Emperor, very classic. The Hierophant, or the High Priest. It's actually a picture of the Pope. Here is the Lovers. I think this is a part of the painting of this Venus painting. So here is the Lovers, and this is the Chariot. Here you have a Justice, and the Hermit. The Wheel, also very classical. The Strength card. The Hangman. Death. And Temperance card. And here's the Devil, showing the more humoristic side of the Devil, being the actually the Pan god from beginning, or the god of fertility, wine, and party, harvest feasts, pleasures. But the Christianity, of course, twisted this to become something that was bad. You shouldn't be happy. Here's the Tower card. And I really like the display of the Tower card here. It gives a little bit more hope than the usual tarot cards. You really see that it is about spiritual growth, but maybe through big catastrophes or cataclysms. Maybe on a personal scale, but also sometimes on a worldly scale. Here we have the Stars card, the Moon, the Sun. And here's it's really centered around the word play between sun and the sun and the sun. So it's like showing this a little bit, that our godly worship of, for example, Jesus is actually it's a worship of the sun coming back after 3 days. Here in the Nordic countries, even more farther north. Sorry, this was Judgment, and here you have the World card. That's this beautiful Venus card. But here in the north, we have very little sun in the winter time, and we have this with the sun disappearing for 3 days. Might have been actually what has been displayed astronomically for like all eternity, every Christmas, like around Christmas. The World, yes. And here we have Ace of Calluses there. This is 2 of Calluses, 3 of Calluses, 4 of Calluses, 5 of Calluses, 6 of Calluses, 7, 8, 9, 10, and this is the Page or the Knave in this deck. Here is the Knight and the Queen and the King of Calluses. Here comes the Pentacles suit, and here we can see it's like a real penny there. It's very It's very beautiful, actually. Okay, Ace of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles with the two small devils then. So it's the worldly round. And here we have Three of Pentacles, showing the more creative side of humans, like how we are downloading the divine by our inspiration. And here is the Four of Pentacles, the Five. Five is reminding me of a story of a man that sat on a golden chest without knowing it for a very, very long time. And here we have the Six of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles, 8, 9, 10. This is the Knave or the Page, Princess, Knight of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, and the King of Pentacles. And this is Ace of Wands. Here you have Two of Wands, more playful energy than usually Two of Wands. Here is more inviting instead of this, well, I close my door kind of thing. And here you have Three of Wands, 4. Oh, this baby really have a grown-up man's face. That's a little bit scary. 5 of Wands. 5 of Wands. Well, maybe I've had a conflict with people and no one is coming to his birthday party. And here we have the 6 of Wands, looking a bit threatening there with these sticks sticking out of the wands. And here we have the 7 of Wands, very Sagittarius. 8 of Wands, looking much like the classical Lovers card. So it's the meaning of like a love message. 9 of Wands. Here's more peaceful than the usual. The usual is about like have been scarred in battle and now being afraid to have the same bitter experience again. But here it looks very much more hopeful. 10 of Wands. Exhausted after too much work, needing rest. Knave of Wands, 9 of Wands, this energy. Queen of Wands doesn't seem to have too much of energy. King of Wands. And here we have the Ace of Swords. That was beautiful. Very fruitful Ace of Swords card. Yeah. And Two of Swords. Two of Swords is called peace in the Tarot. I don't think we see any peace here. It's no silent treatment anymore. And here's the Three of Swords. So heartbreak. This guy is trying to pray and the girl is dragging him off. Okay. 4 of Swords. 5 of Swords. It's someone's head there, so the battle is over. 6 of Swords, 7 of Swords, 8 of Swords, 9 of Swords, 10 of Swords. This is the Knave of Swords, or the Page, and this is the Knight. Also a lot of energy. Queen looks, the queens and the kings looks suspiciously like very similar to one another. You can see this. It's the same like picture being painted again. So I guess it's from the same painting, or maybe Botticelli had the same style of depicting various women. I guess maybe the king also has a little bit of this, yes, very much so. Okay, that was a little bit of a disappointment. I like variation. And here we have some commercial for Book of Shadows. Okay, so that was the new deck, the Botticelli Tarot, and I will try to see if this is what I want to use for your next November reading. It's very good qualities, but it's very hard to find something that's equally good as the decks I have been using, like the Gilded Tarot and the Witches Tarot and this Legacy of the Divine Tarot. This is more classical, of course. It's more classical Rider Waite, and this is good decks. The Rider Waite is very clear with its messages. It's not much room for misunderstandings here. So that's why this is such a popular deck, because it's easy to interpret the cards. Here we see this is a slow-going person waiting for a harvest. It's very good. So it's based on the Rider Waite, but it's taken this art from the Botticelli. You see this with a fool really being like a fool here. Okay, thank you for watching, and yes, see you soon. Bye bye.